besties, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lindsay and today we are talking about my thoughts on the new perfume releases that have been really hyped on social media. So if that sounds interesting, definitely keep watching. This is gonna be more of speed reviews with my first impressions, and as I do wear these perfumes more, I will give you guys more of an in-depth thorough review. I'll probably end up doing that for most of these perfumes, but for right now I just want to talk about my thoughts after maybe wearing a few for a few hours and just smelling them initially. So the first one, there's so many good ones to talk about. I'm gonna start with the one I just did a full video on. That video should already be up at this point. This is Devotion Intense from Dolce & Gabbana, and to me this one still has that same lemon sugar, orange blossom, vanilla, like that very creamy dessert-like vanilla citrus DNA that I absolutely love. But this one has this really irresistible nutty, cozy quality to it coming from that hazelnut note, and I find that this one is even more rich and more decadent. It's so beautiful, and I will say that if you do get a lemon pledge opening in the original, that zesty, bright, intense lemon is too much for you. I do think they dialed that back a bit with this one, and you get more of that orange floral, orange blossom note that I really enjoy, and overall it's so much more smooth and again creamy. So really love this one. I enjoy both. It's hard to pick a favorite, but again, if you're looking for something very warm, sensual, citrusy, and vanillic, this one is out of this world. I really enjoy this one. Next is Burberry Goddess Intense, and I love Burberry Goddess so much. It is so feminine, sweet, and comforting, and I love the vanilla trio. So beautiful. So Burberry Goddess Intense was supposed to give us the trio and then amplify those vanilla notes and then some. Then it was supposed to give us an additional vanilla that was supposed to have this woody, smoky tone. And what I can say is the opening of this fragrance, so off-putting, I have to say. You get a blast of lavender, you do get the patchouli, and it is not what I was expecting for Burberry Goddess Intense when I think of everything that Burberry Goddess is, you know? So I feel like this one, in the opening, I get something almost a bit medicinal, which threw me off completely. And by the way, if you do try this out and you test it in store, try it on your skin, because on paper I let this sit for like an hour and guys, it smelled like straight up chemicals. But on my skin, again, initially it is this earthy, medicinal, just really odd scent, but the more that it dries down, it does smell more like a deep, woody vanilla. It is just not what I think I had envisioned for the fragrance. And I mean, who am I to say, but I'm just saying, you know, you have this really delicious vanilla aromatic scent with that beautiful lavender, gosh. And so I was just expecting something a little bit different, but I will say this is giving more of a grown, mature, deep vanilla. So if you like something more edgy, this would be that. And I do think that the vanilla does come through the more that it does sit on my skin. With that being said, it's still not my favorite. I'm happy that I did purchase it in the smallest bottle. I almost did get the travel, but guys, I have to be honest, because most people were saying it's way too much lavender and it did lean masculine, I kind of thought that would give it more of like this edgy, sexy, confident vibe, like for example what you would get in Liebe. I know the patchouli was a risk, but honestly, I think it's not even the patchouli that really bothers me so much. I do get that, and that does add to it, but I think it might be even a little bit too much lavender for me. I love the rich bourbon vanilla. I love all the vanillas listed, but I just think that maybe if the lavender was lifted a little bit, if the patchouli was lifted a little bit, I would enjoy it like 10 times more. For right now, it's okay. I did wear it out all night and I did smell it on my clothing the whole night and even the next day, but you know, I just thought it smelled okay while I was wearing it. If you like those more deep, dark vanillas, I think you may like this, but because it is an extension of Burberry Goddess, I do feel a bit let down. Next is Afternoon Delight from Maison Margiela, and this one was kindly sent to me from the brand. This one, the notes were so intriguing. There's Madeleine cookie, there's vanilla, whipped cream, musk, and sandalwood, and this one is not as sweet and like cloying as you might think. It is a very milky, sweet, smooth, creamy vanilla fragrance though, and I do get something powdery, fluffy, kind of biscuity, which I really do enjoy. I can't say if this really smells like a Madeleine cookie because I've never smelled one, but based on some of your descriptions, I would say, yeah, there's something quite fluffy, powdery, and extra addictive to this milky vanilla that I love so much. And the more it dries down, I do start to get the sandalwood, which I think makes it smell even more elegant and even more wearable with this really beautiful musk. Imagine something like Dulce from Rosie Jane, where that musk and the wood really elevate the fragrance and keep it from being too overly sickeningly sweet. I think that this one doesn't smell like Dulce, but it does smell wearable to me. And funny thing is, sometimes like the longer it sits on my skin, I actually feel like I smell it more. Sometimes when I put it on initially, I'm like, knock knock, who's there? But then as I'm wearing it throughout the day, I get these beautiful whiffs. Actually, the first time I did wear it, I was with my mom, and after like 4 or 5 hours, I couldn't smell it in the car, and she smelled me and she's like, oh, you're crazy, you smell like straight vanilla goodness. And I was like, really? She said, your nose is broken, girl. And I was gonna review it that day, so I gave it a few days. I kept wearing it, and yeah, you do get a pretty good performance from this toilette. So very milky, very sweet, super vanilla. Next is Brown Girl Jane Carousel, and this one I did blind buy with my own money. I haven't put this one on skin for a full day of wear, but I have put it on my skin before bed, and guys, this one smells irresistible. It's sweet, it's fruity, it's sexy. There's some really beautiful balancing notes, but oh my gosh, it smells so good. So the advertising for this was so cute. I believe there was like cake and cotton candy and caramel apples. It just looked so irresistible, and it smells the same way. Sexy, intoxicating, really beautiful. I'm gonna read the notes on this one because there is a lot, but it comes together in the most beautiful way possible. Top notes are spun sugar, apple, and black currant. Mid notes are orange blossom, lily of the valley, and coral rose. And base notes are leather, sandalwood, cherry, and musk. And in the opening, I get a lot of the apple. It is very fruity, very bright and playful. That caramel apple with this really yummy spun sugar. That apple note is really, really prominent here, and it is so delicious. I really get that apple with the spun sugar with almost a creamy vanilla worked in, which is really yummy. And the more that it does dry down, I feel like those florals are a really good transition. And the leather note in this scent, I get it. It is there, but it's not doing too much. I feel like it's surrounded by all those fruits, all those sweet notes, so it doesn't go overboard. I feel like it doesn't smell too mature. And that sandalwood, again, is just really grounding the fragrance and making it smell less childish. A little bit more sexy, fruity, bold, and fun. I think it's a sexy, sweet, fruity fragrance. I get the cherry as well, some really beautiful musk, very sexy fragrance. Of course, I do need to test this one on my skin, but my first impressions is that this is a really beautiful, well-balanced, sweet, fruity, intoxicating scent. And in the perfume reminds me of section, we have Kayali Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar first, and I guess I get that because this one does open up kind of playful, but it dries down to be more deep, more sensual, more grown and sexy. And I think that's similar to what Kayali's does. It opens up with that bright bubblegummy sweetness, very sugary, and then it gets very creamy to me as well, quite powdery, very woody, just deeper. And so I think this one does a similar thing. So if you like fragrances that do start out quite playful, fruity, fun, and you like ones that transition into something more confident boosting, more bold and sexy, then you might really enjoy this one. Next is Gucci Flora Gorgeous Orchid, and this one I really enjoy because it's very fresh, very airy, very lightweight for a sweet vanilla fragrance. It's sweet and floral and very feminine, very wearable, great for summer because it's not too heavy and it's not cloying. The opening for me is very bright, almost like if there was a bergamot note in the opening or something like that. It is very bright and awakening up top. Sweet but not too sweet, and because it is so lightweight, it's not heavy, it's perfect for year round when you want something that is sweet and floral and vanillic, but you don't want something that's overpowering. I think this is just the perfume. Very fluffy, very sweet, gets a little powdery the more it dries down, and you really do get those ozonic notes. I feel like some people would find this super basic, but I love it, and I'm so happy to have this in my collection. I've already said before, this was sent to me, but even if it wasn't, I would have purchased this. My throat's getting dry. It's my second video of the day on YouTube. But I would have purchased this with my own money, but probably in the smallest size because, guys, these are pricey. Number 6 is Prada Paradoxe Virtual Flower, and I did get this one in the travel because, to be honest, I really wasn't sold. I thought the notes looked a bit more basic, and I will say it is more basic. It's not as fruity and sweet as the original. This one is more floral, it's more musky, more fresh, and one of you told me it is the more floral demure sister of the three, and I do agree with you. First, I love it. It's very bright, very floral and beautiful, very, very fresh. The more it dries down, the more it resembles the scent of like a dryer sheet, that clean, fresh floral scent, very powdery, and I think it's nice, but the more that this dried down on my skin, let me first tell you the notes. So top note is bergamot, very bright, very citrusy in the opening. Then the mid notes are jasmine and neroli, and base notes are musk and ambrette, right? So it sounds really sparkly, very fresh and floral, and that is essentially what I get. But then the more it dries down, like I said, I get something that is more powdery. It definitely reminds me of cleaning, like laundry product. And then on the final dry down, I still think it's a very pleasant fragrance, great for every day, great for the office, very easy reach until the dry down. I would say maybe 15-20 minutes into wearing it on my skin. That is where it got more spicy. Still very fresh, still very floral, but spicy. If it smelled like what it initially did, I'd probably get it in the smaller bottle, but a bigger bottle. But here, I feel like even on paper, you can kind of pick up even right away on that spice, that fresh spice. So if you like a subtle fresh spice, imagine maybe a little bit of pepper mixed into the equation, then maybe you would like this. I do like pepper notes, but I wasn't expecting it, and I think I have enough fresh, spicy, musky scents in my collection at the moment. So this one is nice, but not something I'm gonna rush out to get the big bottle of. But the longevity on this, I didn't test it all day, but I could smell it for a few hours. And the last fragrance I want to talk about is Commodity Juice Expressive. And this one for me is a more sophisticated take on a juicy, fruity fragrance. So it opens up, you have top notes of raspberry and strawberry, mid notes of Bulgarian rose and cyclamen, and base notes of rhubarb and amberwood. And this one does smell more mature, more feminine, more elegant than I was expecting. And I'm really happy about that, honestly. Would I have liked something that smelled like straight up muddled up fruits? Yes, but, and you do get that in the opening right away. But almost immediately, maybe a few minutes later, I do start to get something quite rosy, quite elegant. I get the green, fresh, punchy rhubarb. with almost like the stems of the rose. Really, really beautiful rose in this fragrance. And I want to say in the opening I do get the strawberry and the raspberry, but the more that it dries down, I start to only get that raspberry note, and I feel like it blends beautifully with the rose, with the rhubarb, and with that really beautiful woody note. It gets more woody. It reminds me of Angel Nova from Mugler, but a more woody, less syrupy, sweet take on that fragrance. So if you like that woody, fruity scent, but you feel like it's a bit overly sweet for you and you want some wood to really cut through that, I feel like the green punchy rhubarb also helps with that as well. This might be great for you if you're wanting something that's just really juicy and really pulpy and very minimal with the rose, the rhubarb, and the amberwood. This is not the fragrance for you, but I really enjoy it. And I think if you do like more sophisticated, elevated raspberry fragrances, you totally love this. I know that I do. Will I get a full bottle? I don't know, because I really do love Angel Nova and it's not too sweet for me, but I mean, this is really good. Yeah, guys, those are my thoughts on the new perfumes. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the good things, and let me know your thoughts on these new popular fragrances. I also have so many more to go through, but I'm kind of hungry and I want to give some love to my dog, so I'm gonna do part 2 of this video with Ellis Brooklyn. This is Dear Sky. We have the new YSL Libre. This is the Flowers and Flame Sabrina Carpenter Cherry Baby. We've got Candied Lychee from the 7 Virtues, YSL Myself Le Perfume, and Vanilla Bourbon from Nest to also go through. I love you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!